All right, first graders, today we are starting our winter project and we are talking all about implied texture. So implied texture, we know, is texture that is not actually there. So when we feel implied texture, it just feels flat like a regular piece of paper. But real texture is when it actually feels like something. So for example, this table is not made out of real wood. It's made out of a flat, fake wood that's made to look like real wood. So when I feel it, I cannot feel those bumps like it looks like it would have. I can just feel a smooth surface. So we're gonna create some tree texture that's not actually there, it just looks like it's there. So you are going to receive a paper that has lines already drawn on it for you. We are going to make each one of these a birch tree so that we can cut them apart next time. You're also going to be using some black paint and a piece of cardboard square. First, dip your cardboard square in the black paint so that you can see it on the edge. So I've just got a little bit of paint. Next, tap it on your plate to get the extra paint off. Now I'm going to start on the edge of my paper, the furthest edge, and at the top, so top corner edge. And I am placing my cardboard on the paper and then just gently swiping my cardboard to the middle. So you have to press a little bit on your cardboard, but not very much, because a little will go a long way. Then when I run out of paint, I'm gonna flip my cardboard over and start the same thing. So I'm just swiping it. Swipe, swipe, swipe. So that's one side of our birch tree texture. And you can see when I hold it up, it looks like it would have that scratchy texture like a birch tree, but when I feel it, it just feels like paper. So that means we have made implied texture. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. So we're going from this side, left side, to right side. I need a little bit more paint on my cardboard, so I'm gonna dip it and tap it. Start on the other side of your line this time and start swiping to the middle. Flip your cardboard, swipe, swipe, swipe. So there is one of my trees. So I did the left side and the right side. So now I'm gonna do the same thing in all of my stripes. So when you're finished, you should have 6 trees. Always remember to dip and tap your cardboard before you begin. Swipe, swipe, swipe. So I'm always going on both sides of my line. And then the other side, dip and tap. So now I'm starting on my 3rd tree. Dip and tap. Sometimes your paint sometimes your trees might have a little bit more paint in some spots, but that's okay because birch trees look like that in real life. There are some spots that have larger areas of shadow on them and not as much shadow. So see right here, I got a lot of paint on there, but that's fine because it helps make it look more realistic. Next, you're going to use your blue piece of paper and an old marker lid, some white paint, and a toothbrush. So this is going to be so fun. We're going to stamp some snow on our background, and we're going to splatter a little bit of snow with our toothbrush. So first is the stamping part. you're gonna dip your marker lid in the white paint, and just like with our cardboard, you're gonna tap it first. Because if you forget to tap, you might have way too much paint on your marker lid. So I'm gonna tap and then stamp on my paper. Okay, so I have stamped all over my background. I feel like I have enough snow on there. So I'm gonna put my marker lid on the plate so it can stay there. Next, I'm going to do the splattering. So I have my toothbrush and my white paint. I'm gonna dip the bristles in the paint. So it should look like this. So you can see my paint is on my toothbrush. So now this is important. You have to put your toothbrush away from you. So not this way, because that's pointing towards me, away from you. And you have to go a little bit down. So not up, but face it down, okay? So then I'm gonna take my finger and my thumb. My thumb is gonna stay on the back of my toothbrush, so it kind of like holds it in place. And then my finger is going to flick the bristles like this and splatter the paint on my paper. So I've got my thumb on the back, then I take my finger, put it close to your paper, and spray your paper with some really cool snow texture. And if you run out of paint, dip it again. Remember, point it away from you. If you point it this way, it's gonna spray all over your clothes. So point it away. And make sure you're down really close to your paper. So you don't wanna do it like up here because it's just gonna get all over the table. Make sure you're really close to the paper. You can do as much snow as you want. All right, so I feel like I have plenty of snow. Mine looks like a blizzard, kind of. So I've got lots of cool snow texture on there with my stamping and my toothbrush flicking. So now I'm gonna put this one on the drying rack with my tree paper, and then I'm gonna clean up my area. All right, first graders, today we are going to be making our birch tree landscape with our Cardinal. So last time we made our implied texture trees. First thing we gotta do is cut all of these apart. So you're gonna cut on that Sharpie line that I drew for you last time. And remember, you should have 6 trees. So when you cut them apart, they look more like a real tree. So we're not gonna actually have room for all of these trees on our paper. So you're gonna choose your favorite 3, okay? So maybe I wanna keep this little skinny guy. I kinda like how he looks. He's gonna go on my snow. And I also like that one. And then I think I want this one on the end over here. So if you made one that you don't really like that much, you only have to keep 3, okay? So those are my 3 trees, and then the rest of them you're gonna donate to the scrap bin if anybody else needs an extra tree, okay? That goes to the scrap bin. Then you're gonna use your glue bottle, and you're gonna glue all of your trees to your background. Yes, Eva, leave your voice off. Okay, so then you are gonna get a red square of paper, and it has a circle drawn on it already for you. So you are gonna cut out that circle, and we are gonna turn this circle into a bird. Okay, so you are gonna take your circle and cut it in half. So a circle is gonna be the same if I cut it in half this way or if I cut it in half this way, because a circle is the same on all sides. So I'm gonna just cut. Okay, so one of these pieces is gonna be his body. So you're gonna keep that. Now you're gonna cut this half of the circle in half again. So I'm gonna cut it in half this way. It's like cutting a pizza pie. So now this is going to be the birdie's head. So I'm gonna flip his head this way because we want his round feathers to be towards the back. So that's gonna be his head. And then this part, we're gonna cut it in half one more time. So little tiny pieces of pizza, and that's gonna be his tail, okay? So I'm gonna glue him all on before I add his beak and his black mask. And then this little extra piece, this is his wing. So I'm gonna put some glue, and that's his little birdie wing. All right, so I've got my oil pastels. I'm gonna find an orange oil pastel, and I'm gonna draw his little beak. So just like an orange triangle. And then I'm gonna find a black oil pastel, and this is gonna be his mask. So cardinals always have a black face. It makes them look like they're wearing a mask. So he's gonna have a black oval. I'll color it in. Okay, and then you can also use your black oil pastel and draw some lines on his tail and some lines on his wing. Maybe I want jumping line. Okay, and if you can find a white, here's a teeny tiny white, but you could also add eyeball if you want, and some legs if you want. There's his little birdie legs. Okay, so there is my cute little cardinal. He's sitting on a branch. So you could make your cardinal flying in the sky or sitting on a branch, wherever you want to put him. But we made the whole entire cardinal with just one circle, which is pretty cool.